In a peaceful town named Willowbrook lived a young man named Ethan Parker. He was 25, full of dreams, and known for his honesty. Ethan worked as a mechanic in a small garage and lived with his widowed mother, Grace Parker, who always told him, "Son, never lose faith in God's timing. He writes stories even when we can't read them." Ethan wanted to start his own car workshop, but life kept throwing challenges. Every time he saved money, something unexpected happened. His mother's medicines, his broken tools, or rent issues. Still, he never complained. One morning, Ethan received great news. A big car company in the city needed a mechanic. The salary was huge, enough to change his and his mother's lives. Excited, he prepared his documents, kissed his mother's forehead, and said, "Mom, this is it. Our new life begins today." Grace smiled and said, "Whatever happens today, remember it's God's plan." Ethan left for the interview on his old motorbike. Halfway, heavy rain started pouring. The road became slippery. Suddenly, his bike skidded and hit a tree. He fell and twisted his leg badly. The pain was unbearable, and he couldn't reach the interview on time. Lying on the roadside, drenched and hurting, he cried out, "Why, God? I've never done wrong to anyone. Why me?" No answer came, only the sound of rain. The next day, Ethan learned that the car company building collapsed due to a sudden explosion caused by a gas leak. Many people who went for the interview were injured. Ethan sat silently for minutes. His hands trembled. He whispered, "If I hadn't fallen yesterday, I would have been there." For the first time, he realized his accident wasn't misfortune, it was protection. What he saw as a disaster was actually God's mercy in disguise. A week later, Ethan limped to his garage. While fixing a car, a rich man named Mr. William Carter stopped by. His car had broken down near the workshop. He repaired it with skill and honesty. Impressed, William asked, "You're talented, young man. Why don't you run your own service center?" Ethan smiled weakly. "I wish I could, sir, but dreams are expensive." William handed him a card and said, "Visit my office tomorrow. Maybe I can help." Ethan thought it was just a polite gesture and ignored it at first, but his mother encouraged him to go, saying, "When God opens a door, don't stand outside doubting." The next day, Ethan visited William's office. To his surprise, William owned a chain of automobile showrooms across the country. He told Ethan, "I'm opening a new branch in Willowbrook. I want someone trustworthy to run it. You have the skill and the heart. The job, it's yours." Ethan couldn't believe it. Tears filled his eyes. He stuttered, "Sir, I don't know what to say." William smiled and said, "Say thank you to God. He planned this long before you met me." Months passed. Ethan became the manager of the new branch. His mother's health improved. Life turned bright again. Every evening, he'd look at the sunset and whisper, "Now I understand, God. Every delay, every pain, every fall, it was leading me here." But the story doesn't end here. One night, while returning home, Ethan saw a young boy crying beside the road with a broken bicycle. The boy said he'd lost his way and didn't know how to get home. Ethan helped him, bought him food, and drove him back to his parents. The boy's father hugged Ethan and said, "Thank you, young man. You saved my son. I'm Pastor Daniel, and I will pray for you." Ethan smiled and said, "You don't need to pray for me, sir. God already has a plan for us all." Years passed. Ethan expanded his business and helped many others, but he never forgot the lessons from his past. One evening, while cleaning his office, he found an old envelope his mother had kept, but never gave him. It read, "My dearest Ethan, if you ever feel lost, remember, God never wastes pain. Every unanswered prayer, every closed door is a bridge to something better. Keep believing, my son. His plan is perfect." Ethan held the letter close to his heart, tears rolling down his cheeks. He whispered, "You were right, Mom." His plan was always perfect. Ethan's story became known throughout Willowbrook. People who had lost faith came to him for guidance, and he would always say, "When life doesn't make sense, don't curse it. God's plan is not always visible, but it's always right." He started a foundation called the Grace Project, in memory of his mother, to help young mechanics and underprivileged families. The boy he once helped, Liam, grew up and joined him in the mission. Together, they changed hundreds of lives, living proof that one act of faith can spark miracles for generations. Standing on a hill overlooking the town, Ethan said in his final speech, "When I fell from that bike years ago, I thought my dreams had ended. But that fall was the start of something divine. So if today you're struggling, crying, or losing hope, don't give up, because maybe, just maybe, your pain is preparing you for your purpose. This is God's plan." The camera slowly fades as the golden sun sets behind him, a symbol that even the night that follows is part of God's beautiful story. Moral of the story: sometimes God removes things not to punish you, but to protect you. Sometimes He delays your dreams because He's preparing something greater. And sometimes your greatest heartbreaks are just His hidden blessings.
Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like and share this video, and also subscribe our channel.